What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another episode of the After Credit Scene. We are talking forecast and prediction for the last two episodes of Agatha All Along. Episodes 8 and the finale both come out Wednesday night at 8 p.m. Central. I've got several possibilities here of things that we're going to go through. We're going to go through some of the no-brainers first and then get into some of the crazy stuff. But before we do that, please like and subscribe. Hit all the buttons, do all the things, share this thing all across the multiverse. Thanks for watching, guys. First off here, a couple of things that we've seen just from the promo materials, some shots that we haven't seen yet, things that we know are probably going to happen. Could be some misdirects, but I think we're going to get Rio's challenge or Billy's challenge, most likely Billy's challenge, but it's going to be very Agatha heavy. Judging from some of the shots we've seen, although it could be some kind of amalgamation of Rio and Billy, given the fact that Rio is coming after Billy. Billy died, or this bodily version died. The spiritual form of him is also, all these kind of things. I think there's probably going to be some overlap there. It looks like they're in a morgue type setting, but it could be something else. So some of those promo shots are very interesting, but they all have kind of a purple hue to them. That may be some misdirects as well. We could get to these episodes and it could be more of a blue hue. I think either way, I think 100% here we get this Agatha and Billy showdown. Not necessarily a fight, but where they have to come to terms with each other, work together, help each other out, figure out what's going on here. There's a lot of tension that they kind of had to let go to deal with Lila's challenge, Lilia's challenge in the last episode. And so I don't think they've really gotten to handle that. Plus, both of them have to deal with the fact that they actually kind of need each other. And I think Agatha needs to have her redemption arc. Billy needs to kind of figure out who he is, which is typical teenage coming-of-age drama. All of these kind of things here, I think, are definitely going to happen given what we've seen in the promo material. Also, we've gotten some shots. I don't believe any of the witches are dead. Some of the material that's come out where people have said, well, Jock Schaefer said these deaths are permanent. It's open to interpretation the way that she words these things and the way that she says them, especially when you have a character called Lady Death. In this episode, there's some shots that we've seen where these characters are being revived. I also think it's important to point out here that not only, again, the Witch's Road is made for strengthening covens, not just for getting the power that you want, but strengthening the coven. But also, we've seen time and time again in the MCU in at least 3 different ways, different types of afterlives. We've seen what happens in the Soul Stone. We've seen in Moon Knight what happens if you die in an Egyptian pyramid, or you are Egyptian or whatever. There's an Egyptian afterlife. And we've also seen Valhalla in terms of a different type of afterlife. I think maybe Lady Death here maybe is something for witches. Maybe is a different type of afterlife that she ferries people to. It's going to be interesting to see the backstory there or what's going on. I don't really know that we're going to get a lot of that because I think the ambiguity and the mystery kind of adds to the character, but we could. Either way, some shots that we've seen from the promo material show that some of these witches are not dead, particularly Alice Wu. There's a shot of her coming back to life. So also, promo material. Rio and Agatha have to trade blows. There's a big battle that looks like it happens in Westview after they get off the road, which would make sense. They all have their powers back, but I think maybe the Coven comes to her rescue. Billy comes to her rescue. There's some things that are going to happen there. This was in the promo material, so it's going to happen. But all of these 3 things, I think, lead into some of these bigger predictions I'm going to make over here, which are, let's look at these. First off, I'm about 80% certain we get some kind of story behind the story. What Rio has been doing this entire time, where Rio came from, the back and forth between Agatha and Rio. Something about some of these characters are things that you have not seen yet. Similar to Lilia's story in the last episode, I think we're going to get a lot more of that. Now, we haven't really gotten much about Jen's past yet and how she was unbound or bound or those kind of things. So it could be some of that, but I think there's some some backstory, some critical things missing that we haven't seen yet. And thus far, we've been given a lot of those kind of things to fill in the gaps to make the current story a lot more powerful. So I think those things are coming. I am about 60% certain here. This is my prepare to be disappointed prediction. There's a lot of things that they've brought up that seem like they need some kind of explanation or resolution. Now, some of these things could be explained in a one-liner, but Billy's looking for Tommy. Some of these Wanda connections that Agatha is making that Billy seems to have not brought up as well. The fact that Lilia puts down the card, Three of Pentacles card, talking about the power of the coven, but half the coven's dead. What's going to happen with the coven? Is there going to be a coven at the end of this? And then Agatha's son, Nicholas Scratch, we got a little one-liner from Rio that says he's not your son. But what happened? It's something to do with the Darkhold, some kind of connection there. But I would be very surprised if they wrap all this up in a very nice bow. 60% certain something's going to have to be dropped here. My guess is on some Wanda stuff. I think with the Vision show coming, maybe we get some more of that in the Vision show. But it's either the Wanda stuff or the Nicholas stuff. I think they could really just throw that aside and say, well, you have to get over that, you have to deal with it, and maybe get some one-liners, something between Rio and Agatha, particularly finding out something that we don't know yet here. So we've also gotten a lot of stuff about the Darkhold. That's kind of been thrown by the wayside. It appeared in a vision that Agatha had in the first challenge. Agatha goes searching for it, or realizes that that's what she's been searching for in the very first episode when she's still kind of under this spell. But I think maybe we get some more of that. Maybe that's where we get some of these Wanda revelations. But I really think we're not done telling this story. There's something here that has yet to be told, and I think maybe we get that in some of this behind-the-scenes type stories. About 80% certain of that, more certain of that than I am of some of these things. Also, stay for the after credits. I think with all the buildup and all the things that are going on, there's already a Vision show coming where Vision is going to go either in search of his own identity, perhaps Wanda. There's no telling what this story is going to be. Maybe it's, supposedly James Spader's Ultron comes back here as well. So maybe it's a setup for some of that. I'm about 70% certain we get some kind of Vision after credits nod. Maybe some kind of Wanda nod, but I doubt it. I think that's going to happen in a movie if she does come back. But there has been some kind of like, maybe she's alive, maybe she's not. We don't really know. 40% certain here, maybe through Billy and Tommy, we get some kind of Young Avengers tease. There's a lot of that going on. I think some of that's going to pop up a little bit in this Captain America Brave New World movie, and maybe again moving forward into Thunderbolts and some of those other things. So maybe they take care of that there, but you do have potentially two characters that are supposed to appear in Young Avengers in this show. And so I think there's going to be some kind of after credit scene here that makes some nods towards some things. I don't think we're going to, I actually am more sure that we're going to get something that moves other stories forward than we do something that just extends this story. I think this is a really good show, and it's a really good standalone show, more so than I thought it would be. But I think there's some stuff coming that I think would be really good to tack on to the end of this show to really give some oomph moving forward and to really get the Twitterverse, so to speak, talking about some things. So I'm really curious what you guys think. We're going to get almost 2 hours worth, or at least an hour and a half worth of Agatha content on Wednesday night. So I'm really excited to wrap up the show. I'm excited about the way they did it, timing it right up against Halloween, which is going to be really cool. Curious what you guys think. As always, like, subscribe, share your thoughts in the comments, and then check out some of our other content. You know, we got tons of things that you can sink your teeth into. And as always, guys, when the next one drops, we'll catch you right back here. Later.